All right, guys, so like we said, we're here at the Felco booth, Utility Expo 2021. We're standing here with Shawn Pabst. Shawn is the CEO of Felco Attachments. And Shawn, we're standing here in front of a new wheel compactor that you guys have put out on the market. Now, I understand that this is one of those tools that's maybe not necessary for most types of work, but it's a nice thing to have for a lot of guys out there. So kind of take us through this particular attachment.
Yeah, this is our Felco wheel compactor. This is a 24-inch wide version. This is designed for basically backfilling or compacting most soils, that clay-based soils. Really, the design and the pads on there are the work to knead the soils into what you need to hit compaction in the 90 percentile range. And then we've got the scraper systems in there to clears the material as it goes through the wheel so it doesn't bind up the wheel. This one's built for the 20 to 30,000 range machines, but we do build them up to 100,000 pound capabilities.
When we were talking earlier, you were kind of taking me through like one of the kind of defining features of this attachment is that kickstand in the back. Tell us a little bit about that.
That was kind of a neat discovery. Typically, there's on the back, there's a leveling blade was its true name, but it became apparent with quick couplers that it was nice to get it out of the dirt and off the ground.
Sure.
So operators could more easily detach it and reattach it to their coupler system. So it's lovingly referred to as a kickstand now, but guys do use it to push and pull material into a trench and level out a lift of dirt before they then use the compactor to get their compaction.
One of the things that we talked about is that you guys have put a lot of time and attention into making sure that these attachments work with tilt rotators. Take us through some of those design considerations and what you would need to do if you were interested in kind of pairing this thing with a tilt rotator.
You bet. No, we're really excited to see tilt rotators come to the States and their capabilities, and it really opened up a new market for a product, which is a nice thing to have happen. For you're like, wow, that's another opportunity for us.
Right.
Because tilt rotators are amazing. The way they can grab, turn, and right now, typically operators are just one-dimensional, back and forth. Now you can tilt it onto a slope. You can tilt it across and compact that way. So it's really been exciting. And really, the only adaptation we've had to make was the nice thing about the tilt rotators is a lot of them have standardized ear assemblies, so it's their S dimensions, and this one has a wedge lock. Other than that, any steel wrist, N-con, rototilt group, we can build a top for that bolts onto this, and then they'd be able to grab and go. So there's no other connection issues that happen there. And then if you ever did want to use it on a traditional coupler, you could just get another top and bolt that on, and away you'd go.
And you mentioned, kind of some of the, with the different angles and the ability to kind of rotate and everything with the tilt rotator, but take us a little deeper on how attaching, a wheel compactor to a tilt rotator kind of changes the way that you can use the machine. Like, how does it kind of expand even further on this attachment's capability?
In Europe, they're used primarily vibratory compaction. A lot of our clay-based soils is really going to be a needed tool. A lot of these contractors not only do landscaping, rock placement, but they are getting more into utilities, and it's great because they can actually work around existing utilities.
Yeah.
And the buckets can scoop out. It's just like your hand.
Yeah,
you can
right.
work it out, work the dirt, and then to backfill these, then this is a lot faster than a vibratory plate compactor version, which you just got to work more consistently. This is a faster tool, and it seamlessly goes on with the tilt rotators, and there's no other connections needed.
So, I know that with Felco attachments, that's one of the things that you guys kind of take pride in, is that, maintaining this thing is not going to be a headache, that it's going to last a long time, and that those two kind of things kind of go hand in hand together. So take us through that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We have developed this sealed journal bearing system, so it is internally lubricating. So once we fill it with oil at the factory, there's nothing to grease on this, and that is a huge time saver, and it risks less risk for damage to the wheel itself. And that's probably our biggest competitive advantage to other competitors, is they have to grease those, and if they don't get greased, or if they get damaged, they're very expensive. if this is a 5-year warranty.
That's if they're getting greased at all.
If they get greased at all. And so rental groups love these because they know when they send something on rent, it's probably not going to get greased as well. So the longevity of that, we have a 5-year warranty on that, but we expect a decade of use before you really have issues based on our warranty records that we've found. And we think it's a better tool. It's going to save you more time in the ground and less time in the shop.
It's going to wrap it up from the Felco booth. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate your time, and be sure to stay tuned for more news and announcements from Utility Expo 2021. We'll see you next time.